Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, body and mindset from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be. And you can probably tell, once again, I am in the mobile studio, being the car, because right now and for the next who knows how many number of weeks it will be, I'm going to be travelling backwards and forwards to the hospital to see my little girl. She's 13 years old and she's being treated in here for some really tough times that she's going through. And she's in the best care, but I guess what times like this force us to do is just think about things completely differently. Yesterday I spoke about how I've had to completely change the way that I manage myself, my family, my business, everything, my spare time, which now is non-existent, to manage a crisis. And today I wanted to talk about how things are never quite as bad as you would see. As bad as things may be, they're never quite as bad as they could be. And I guess we are lucky and grateful that she's getting the best care possible. And I guess if you focus on the glass being half empty all the time, then you're not going to move forward. And I guess it's in my nature to always, no matter what the situation is, to always look at it, what's the opportunity here? And like COVID was the same for me. I mean, we've never had in my lifetime a global pandemic. And as soon as it hit, rather than thinking on the downside, I immediately thought, where's the upside in this? And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I mean, my little girl is going through stuff that I can't really relate to on one hand, but can on the other, and know that she's in pain. And what I'm looking for is all the opportunities that are existing right now. And one of the big opportunities is that she's in the right place and she can get the help and hopefully turn a really big corner for her in her life now so that she can conquer this forever. And even though you can think on the downside of, oh my goodness, I'm not thinking that at all, because there's nothing to be gained from that. You're not going to move forward by thinking on the downside of a situation. But if you're always looking for the opportunity, then I think that completely changes. So for me, I'm thinking right now, so there's a great opportunity for me to connect with my daughter in a way that I've never been able to before, in a way that forces me to dig really deep as a dad and as a human being, to show love and to show humor and to show how beautiful life is when someone else doesn't necessarily see it that way. And you can feel sad and down, and what does that bring? Well, it normally brings more sadness and downness. But if you can be happy and joyful and change someone's perception of a situation and their perspective of what's possible, then I think that's just so important, because the whole world can start to change. And if you think back to your own situation with COVID, and how did you approach that? Was your glass half empty at that point, or were you looking for all the opportunity that existed? So I've just left the hospital now. I've had a really big day. I was up at 5:30 a.m. for my first sessions. It's now 9:34 p.m. on the clock. I've got at least another 30 minutes of driving before I get home, depending on what's going on the freeway. I've got to pick up my eldest daughter from her mum's place, take her back back home. We'll connect for a little bit. She'll have a shower. I'll have my shower, and hopefully within about 45 minutes I'll be asleep, because I'm exhausted and I have to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning to start a huge day tomorrow. So I've worked out in my schedule the days that I can get into the hospital to see my daughter, because it's an hour and a half turnaround trip at least. This time of the night the traffic is a little bit less, so I'm hoping I can do it quicker than that. But there's 2 days in the week where I won't go in to see her, and I've explained that to her just because of my schedule. That's a Monday and a Wednesday. The rest of the days I will be in there at different stages of the day, spending time with her, connecting with her, having fun with her, finding ways in myself to become creative. In a business context, it's almost like, how do I come up with a new marketing plan each day as to why she is where she is, and how we can make the best of the situation, and how can she start to build some building blocks and lay some foundations to create a way better outcome. And that's really challenging, especially when I went into tonight really tired. And I'm tired now for sure, and I will sleep really well. But what this is forcing me to do is to find an even deeper, another level for me. And I know that there's always more that I can do as a parent, and maybe this is my wake-up call to say, well, what you're doing now, you should be doing every day. And maybe I'm not. Well, I'm not. Let's be honest with ourselves. And it feels good to be able to leave tonight knowing that, well, one, she didn't want me to go. But the fact that she was leaving, I was leaving, and she'd had a really good time. We spent like an hour and a half together. We played games. I was sharing some jokes with her, and we just had a really nice time. And she was sharing stuff with me that she hasn't shared before, and the challenges that she had through the day, and how she doesn't like that, and trying to get her to understand why things are happening the way that they are. And it's really challenging, but I think it is also building trust between her and myself, and also her mum. Her mum wasn't with me on this occasion. We're visiting separately so that we can spread out our time more, and she's got more contact time with us. I think it's building more trust, it's building more openness. It's certainly forcing me to ask, I guess, better quality questions of her. Oh man, the freeway is closed. Great. Just love that. I've got to find another turn off somewhere. I think it's about 1 kilometre down here. We'll see if I get it right. So I mean, to me, that's another great benefit, that building connection. I'm digging deeper. I'm thinking myself of ways to explain what's going on, and I think that's really, really important. Just like COVID was the unknown, the uncertainty. Each day we didn't know what it was going to bring. Didn't know how long COVID was going to last. But you have to keep pushing through, create a plan, look for the opportunities every single day so that you can, create a better version of yourself and create better outcomes for yourself. And this is the same principles that you can apply to any aspect of your life. This is something that's tough for me. It's tough for my youngest daughter that's going through it in hospital. It's tough for my eldest daughter as well, because of what it means to her and the time away from me. All the aspects of what she's going through with homework and her after school hours programs and that kind of stuff, trying to just cram it all in, plus not let her get lost in the whole experience, because we're spending so much time travelling to and from the hospital when we could be doing those things at home and connecting at home. But this is what we're dealt, and we need to deal with it. And so I think we could all do way better in what we do, in looking for the opportunity rather than finding the reasons for things not to be happening the way that they are. I've just made almost a wrong turn there. Gosh, it's hard to record a podcast in the middle of the night when your eyesight is not awesome and try and find the freeway entrance when it's pitch black. But anyway, I found it now. So yeah, I mean, life is just so interesting, isn't it? Every single day, you just never know what you're going to be faced with. Sometimes there are things that look super, super bad, super, super challenging. But the whole preface of this podcast is things are never quite as bad as you think. Because, again, COVID on the surface seems bad. But I would, given the same opportunity, not miss out on going through COVID again, because it created incredibly amazing opportunities for me so that I could have my best year ever over this last 12 months, and being the toughest time that we've ever lived through. So that's all just become part of my mindset now, to say, well, yeah, things are tough, but even though on the surface you may think that seems really, really bad, what is hidden is this amazing silver lining that there's all this opportunity that you don't necessarily know about just yet, but it's there. You may not think about it yet, but just keep digging and hunting a little bit further for that opportunity, because it's sitting right beneath the surface. You just can't see it yet. So that's my thought for the day. Things are never as bad as you first think they are. So you stay safe wherever you are in the world. Grab someone that you love and give them a hug. Tell them what they mean to you. Try to put a smile on their face today, because you just never, ever know what people are going through. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.